Can everybody hear me okay at the top? All right. Okay, graduates, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Eyes on you. Still works after all these years. Rockport Board of Education, Mr. Walker, Mrs. Kimmerling, faculty members, parents, family members, friends, students, and most importantly, graduates. Good afternoon and congratulations to the Rockport High School class of 2016. Like they said, I'm Molly Spiegel. I'm as honored to be here today as I probably am unqualified. Congratulations on your high school graduation, and thank you for allowing me to play a small part in your special day. Look at you guys. Usually when you wear a robe at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it means you've given up. This 2016 graduation is a very special one for me for lots of reasons. One being I was sitting in your exact same shoes 20 years ago. Yes, 20 years. I'm pausing for noises of disbelief. So I tried to write this graduation speech like I wrote everything in high school. Stayed up all night, listening to Nirvana and Aerosmith while watching an episode of Friends. I was absolutely surprised when I had a few girls out of the class tell me I'd been chosen to be the graduation speaker this year. Immediately, I started having a mini panic attack and happy tears in my eyes at the same time. I have to confess, I'm super nervous to be standing up here. Did you know that public speaking is the #1 fear in America? #2 is death. Just let that soak in. I'll be honest, teachers don't get very many perks at our job. There are no lunch dates out with our boss, box seats at Royals games, Christmas bonuses, or a company car, unless you want to drive a school bus. However, your class has given me the biggest job perk of my life. Knowing that I'm remembered by you and that we've made a special impact on each other's life. It really is a true honor to be with you as you begin this new phase in your life, as you embark on this exciting and challenging new journey. Whether you are off to a job, to college, a technical school, or to the military, this ceremony really does mark a major turning point in your life. Look at these awesome young people. They're a cheerful and respectful group, supportive of each other, talented yet grounded. Andrew, Colby, Josh, Grady, and Marion. I didn't have the opportunity to have you in my classroom, but I sure wish I did. Garrett, Emily, Kaylee, Tabitha G and Tabitha R, Trayton, Brianna, Nick, Ty, Alex, Jay, Trey, Cheyenne, Chloe, and Nathan. Did I miss anybody? I think I got y'all. I had the privilege of being either your 2nd grade classroom teacher or social studies teacher. As an elementary teacher, my personal literature collection includes some of the great works like A Crayon Box That Talked. There's a quote in that book that really makes me think about your class. It goes like this: "We are a box of crayons, each one of us unique, but when we get together, the picture is complete." Each one of you is so different, and I'm sure you've had your ups and downs with each other. I know that being with these same people all these years can be trying at times. However, these classmates have truly molded you into the person you are today. Your class together sure makes one cool, colorful picture. I do just have to stop and ask, kids, how did we get here so fast? When you entered my 2nd grade classroom in August of 2005, most of you were 7 or 8 years old. You were my babies. And when I say you're my babies, I mean that. I didn't have kids of my own yet, just my golden retriever, Penny, who I'm sure you heard a lot about that year. You were the topic of my dinner conversation every night. Just ask Andy. I worried about you when you were sick. I helped many of you pull out teeth and gave you a tooth necklace to proudly wear around school the rest of the day. I bandaged your skinned knees from sliding into third base at a recess game of kickball. I taught you cursive handwriting. We went on a field trip roller skating into the Patey House Museum. You loved receiving a giant pixie stick from me on your birthday. I'm sure your parents appreciated that. We learned about Lewis and Clark together in summer school. You drew pictures for me that I proudly displayed on my bulletin board. They were my treasures. Raise your hand if you remember the 50 Nifty United States song that I taught you. All right. Who wants to come up and sing it? Of course, we had the normal second grade things that happen every year. Tattling on your best friend, crying, some not listening to directions at all. Some kids openly pick their noses with an amazing sense of purpose. Parents, I learned more about your personal lives from your second grader than you would ever imagine. I'll get to a couple of those stories in a minute. Just kidding. What do I know about Rockport? I know that you have a huge support system here. Living in a small town is kind of like having a family of 1,000 people. It is a town that takes pride in the future. The community of Rockport can offer you a rewarding career, a safe and wonderful place to raise a family, and I've seen firsthand that this is a community that welcomes back their alumni with open arms. This community will be your #1 cheerleader. I don't know if you kids realize how fortunate you are to have had your education here in the Rockport school system, but it has been consistently ranked as one of the top schools in Missouri. I know this is directly related to the quality of educators you've had here since preschool. For a minute, I want you graduates to look at each other. Take each other in. Never ever forget your Rockport school friends. I know after graduation, you will make plenty of new friends, but don't ever forget about the ones that have been with you all these years. I know after graduation, the stories you all have on each other, memories that will be with you for life. Actually, the more I think about it, I would venture to say many of you are more like family than friends. You've been to each other's houses. Some of you have practically lived at each other's houses. You know each other's families. Lots of you have been together since you're 4 years old in Mandy Smith's preschool class. That's 14 years in memories. You will change, your friends will change, but there is always a bond between your hometown friends that never wavers. When you're older, you'll appreciate having these people that will be able to fill in the blanks of funny stories you shared when you forget all the details. They will be there to reminisce with you when you get nostalgic about the good old days. You will be very busy after graduation, but keep in touch with them every once in a while. You'll be so glad you did. When you hear the word commencement, lots of people think it means the end, but actually, the definition of commencement means a beginning or a start. Today is the beginning of anything you want. If you aren't happy with who you are now, you can start all over and reinvent yourself. College or your first job is a wonderful time for that transformation. You have the best that life has to offer sitting right before you. Be ready to become the person you always wanted to be. No graduation speech would be complete without life advice. I'm definitely not an expert on living a perfect life, and I made my share of mistakes. But these are things that are important to me, and I've learned that when I do follow them, it sure makes my life a lot better, easier, and more meaningful. First, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. I love that famous quote by Maya Angelou when she said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Passion. You will need to find your passion. Some of you may have already found it. Many of you will find it later. Many of you will take till your 30s or 40s, but don't ever give up on finding it. Even though you're very smart, you're still allowed to say, "I don't know." Just because you're in high demand, you're still allowed to say, "Let me get back to you." This will come in handy when your parents ask when you're going to move out of their basement. And you say, "I don't know. Let me get back to you." Leave everything a little better than you found it. Put away that darn iPhone every once in a while. When someone asks how you're doing, tell them, then ask how they're doing. Open doors for others. Always look people in the eye. Have a sense of humor. Life is so much easier and more fun with a sense of humor. A sense of humor is a major defense against minor struggles. Try to compliment 3 people every day. Avoid negative people. Be the first to say hello. Never get your hair cut on the day of a special event. Smile at strangers. Always thank the host. Work hard, don't be lazy. Your life will not be remembered by grades, popularity, Facebook likes or favorites, but by your relationships, the kind of person you are. These are legacies, the kind you must always leave behind. And once again, put away that darn iPhone every once in a while. When your parents and grandparents look at you now, tall and strong, they don't just see an 18-year-old. They see you in all of your life stages at once. They see you as a newborn in their arms, rocking you to sleep at midnight. They remember how brave and little you looked, taking you to Mrs. Farley's and Mrs. Hughes's room for kindergarten roundup. They watched you learn how to ride a bike. They remember you as a blur, running down the stairs in your Barney pajamas Christmas morning. They doted over what a beautiful woman or handsome man you become at your senior prom. When your parents look at you today, they have glimpses of the man or woman you'll be. Even though you're grown up, you still look like this to them. Shout out to my son Grant. Good job, thanks. You will always be their baby. Be good to your parents. They made you the person you are today. This day is as special for them as it is for you. Bear with them today. This is a day of a whole lot of feelings for them. Your parents' tears say, "We are so proud. We are so grateful. We are so excited for the big life that awaits you." My little second graders, I hope that in this moment you realize that indeed your tassel was worth the hassle. I wish you all very good life. Please keep in touch with your old teacher. I hope that wherever travels take you in this life, you always take Rockport with you. Go and make the rest of your life the best of your life. Thank you.